All right, so look, we're gonna go ahead and start talking about what we need to, to go ahead and get this done, right? So if I get you guys to come in here and take a look at this, hopefully we don't have no glare, but I can see where this has been half cleaned. It's got a little bit of food in there, and then underneath it, I can see it's got a little bit of rust, right? So we got to get all of that off of there. I'm gonna be doing a few things in this video that people tell you you're not supposed to do, including myself. And if you guys look at this video that I'm showing you on the screen right here, yes, that is me. Look, it almost got 1 million views, so it's a lot of people out there know how to do it. But this right here, I'm finna show you. This is an update on it, and I'm finna explain everything. Okay, so look, we finna talk about what we're gonna use to like season it with, right? So I'm gonna put this right in the front. Some people like to use extra virgin olive oil. You guys can use that. It's got the good fat in there. This will work, right? Then some of you guys are gonna wanna use something with a high, smoke point, and that's why I'm showing you guys avocado oil, right? But today's tool of choice is, and which is what I do, and my grandmama taught me to use this. Some of you guys gonna be real familiar with it. Look, we're gonna use that Crisco. I'm gonna show you all of that and how that works, right? So now if I move all of this off to the side like this, now we're gonna talk about what we're gonna scrub with, right? So this is what we're gonna scrub. This is what you call kosher salt. And if you guys look at it right here, you put it in my hand, you look at that, this is a coarse grind. See how that is? It's real abrasive. That's gonna be key. We're gonna use that to scrub all of the rust, any food that was left on there, and then we're gonna break it all the way down. And then if you guys wanna know what it looked like in the package, booyah. All right, so look, I want you guys to get up close and personal with this cast iron right here. This is made by Lodge. Now I can take my hand and I can rub this across here. I can feel it. I still feel all of the little bumps and, the valleys and all of that, but it's real small. Now, if I hold this up right now, you guys are gonna see, I hope you guys are picking that up right now. You can see like rust. I can see right here where it hadn't been clean. Actually, I can feel it right here. So we're gonna strip all of this down. And guess what we're gonna use? That's right, that kosher salt. This is real easy, folks. I hear all of what everybody's talking about and they just overdo it, overthink it. I'm finna explain it and show you, and we finna cook. All right, folks, so look, this is what we're finna do. We're finna start the process, right? So cast irons, got rust, a little bit of food in there. So come on in here and take a look. I'm gonna take my kosher salt, right? I'm gonna start adding some of this in here. Come on in there. I like to just coat it. I mean, that's really like enough right there, right? So when we have that here, now we gotta have something to go ahead and clean this with. Along with this already being abrasive, don't forget, this is a coarse grind. So look, I got a chainmail right here. This right here, and it's on like a little hand scrubber. This is cool. You guys can pick this up on Amazon. They like pennies on $1. What I wanna tell you, these ain't no more than like 10 bucks, or you can get yourself one of these, right? But I'm gonna take this right now, and then we're gonna go right on top of the salt. And what I'm gonna do is just start working this around. I guess it doesn't make a difference about the circular motion. What you want to do is you just want to grind this. And what you're going to do is make this so fine if you're doing it the right way. Because remember, it started out coarse. When you get through, this should all be ground, right? And we probably got to do this twice. Okay, so I would ask you guys now to go ahead and take a look at the color of the kosher salt. Now remember, it was like bleached white when I first put it in here. But as I start picking up some of that rust, you can see it starts to change colors, right? So it's a little bit on the dirty side, right? So what I'm doing is I'm going around here too. It take a little bit of elbow grease, you guys. You guys got to get in here and, work. If you have one that's bad, all we doing now is bringing it back, right? So if I do this and I take it back, let's just do like this. Look at that. Now I do this always twice, but I just want to show you what it looks like right here. Look at that. And then look at the color. Now let's dump that. Let's repeat the process, and then I'll show you guys the next step. All right, so look, this is number 2. I've already dumped the salt, what was left. Now I'm gonna take this little napkin here and just wipe it like this. You guys will notice a difference right off at the back. It kind of like grinds it down, you know what I mean? It's not even as abrasive as it was, once you brought it here, all right? So let me just get all of this swept to one side, then we finna turn this over. I had turned it over when I was dumping it, and I really gotta work on the back side. Let me show you. So when you're doing it, you want to do it all over. Like, look, this is what I mean when I say I got to work. So now we got to put a little bit of this on here. We're going to do it the exact same way. So I just add a little bit of kosher salt to it, and then we're just going to work on that, right? This helps either one. You guys pick up whatever you want to pick up on. You know, pick up. I like these because it gives you a little bit. These work really good, like in the corners when it's the right side up. And when you're upside down, I like to do it like this also. So I kind of like just sweep it in there, you know, like this. Put it right here on top and then work. Okay, so now that I've done this on this side, this is my second time doing it. You know what I mean? So make sure I get the emblem as best as I can. You know, their logo. So if I take it and let's just get rid of some of this. I'll do it that way or this way. You can see a lot of the rust has already come off. It's really that simple, folks. And then let me talk about the seasoning part. I don't know. Some people have talked to me about it, like just in the street. You know, they say something about seasoning it. It's not really about the taste. Like, don't think about we just adding salt and pepper to it, right? What we're doing is we season it and we sealing it so that it can become non-stick. And the main thing is we don't want it to rust. But look, I'm just taking a napkin. You see how this is coming up like that? And then if you see any more of this, that's because it's getting down into the pores. But when I get done with it, we finna seal all that up anyway. And this next thing we finna do, y'all really gonna be talking. Check this out. You can see the rust in the salt. Look at that color. Look at that right there. Okay, folks, so look, this is where we at right here. I done took a paper towel, wiped all of the salt, got most of the residue out of there. So now, I'm finna get you guys to talking down in that comment section below, because you know what we finna do? We finna use soap, folks. Even in my video, which I almost got 1 million views, right? I tell everybody, do not use soap. But let me go ahead and tell you guys why I said that. And then listen, I'm following suit. But right now, I'm finna use this, and we finna spray this around here like that. And I got it. Y'all can talk. These hear me out. And let's understand what I'm doing before we get to acting crazy. We want to get all of the residue down because I done already stripped it down and got it back down to its bare metal. That's why. You guys probably don't know why, you know, everybody say don't use that. That's because dish soap used to be way, way more stronger than it is today. That really came from like back in the day when they had like lye and all that kind of stuff inside of there. So it would strip it down. But today's soap is so mild. You see them commercials where they be washing ducks and all of that. It really don't, you know, do it like that. But for me, I want to go ahead and get a good start. So here we are right here. I'm going to put a little bit of water in here like this. I'm going to take my towel, and I'm using microfiber. You guys use whatever. But look how black it is now. Remember what we started with before? I just want to wash it. I can look at my water. You see that? It's picking up some of that stuff that I wasn't even able to brush out, right? And then microfiber got this little greedy little pattern on the back. This is okay to get in here. Let's just wash it, folks. Now I got it. For some of you guys who skip through the video and you see this right here, you want to leave a comment, I suggest you know what you're talking about, because I promise you I'm going to respond. Remember the back? Look at that. Don't forget, y'all, AB is the one that would tell you, you know what I mean? I was telling you what my grandmama taught me. They've been passed down, but now I'm in that phase in my life where I want to know why, right? You guys should be asking that question too. But look at this right here. It's starting to look good to you already, isn't it? If you want to know that I got it all the way back down, ground all the way down to the bottom and back to the raw metal, check this out. When I cut that off, you see there's no separation, nothing is beading. If it don't do that, then you need to go back in there with that kosher salt. You see this right here? That's what you want. Look at the back. Look at that. Now we dry. Anything that you use, I'm trying to get away from using paper towels because I notice it leaves more lint on here than anything. Right? So we just wash this. Now we dry it. And then we move on. You can't say that we just put this in here, we wiped it and it appears to be dry. This raw metal. Been working with this all of my life, my whole career, right? So check this part out. Got my burner right here. We finna put this on high, right? We're gonna leave it on high. And I wanna make sure that this is completely dry. So we finna just stick it right here on top, let it build up some heat and evaporate everything else that's on here. All right, so now as we got a little heat underneath the bottom and we're trying to get all of the water to evaporate, now you want to come here and you want to hit bake. What we're going to do is we're going to preheat to 200 degrees and we're going to hit start. Some of you guys are going to say like, hey, I had it under this burner. It's probably more, but I just want to make sure that the whole thing is completely, you know, heated, right? So I'm going to stick it in here, leave it in there for about 5 minutes. After that, then we're going to start applying our first coat of that Crisco. All right, so we working from the bottom. I forgot to show you guys this. I always like to take it, put this over the top like that and let it work the same way. Obviously, I'm using a burner. It works better like on the stove. I mean, I got that too, but for filming purposes, I want to make sure you guys get it, you understand it, and then when you do it, you finna be proud, and you finna go wake your kids up if it's a Saturday morning, and you finna teach them something that they didn't even know. So we just reached 200. I'm a little bit warm. The handle, this right here is really not that hot, but we'll put it in here like this anyway. I'm gonna put it inside. We're gonna let it stay in there for maybe about 5 or 6 minutes. After that, I'm setting up right now to go ahead and start, hitting it with my Crisco. Now I just took my cast iron out at the 200 degrees, right? So now I got to go ahead and cancel this. I'm gonna hit bake again. Then we finna go to 500 degrees, right? Now we hit that, we hit start. You're gonna need that heat, folks. And that's why I use, this Crisco. Listen, the smoke point, it's gonna get a little bit of smoke inside. And one thing I used to do, I used to have it upside down so it'd catch it. But I'm gonna show you how you guys gonna do it. And then you gotta have a pan like this. If you don't, I got a huge pan. I'm gonna put it right here and do it this way. You can always put one underneath. So let's come on over this way and let's go ahead and get it cracking. Now, got my Crisco, I got my rag, right? This is almost like one of them, I can't say that it's lint free, but I've been using this and I've been using these to do, everybody's, and I don't see no residue, so I'm gonna go ahead and just say that. But look, see how when it's warm, look at how the Crisco just lay on here like that. I'm gonna go in here and get me a little bit more. You see what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. Then it gets in all of the pores, all of that. You wanna start where it's hot. So I'll just take this, run this around here. You wanna get all of it. Don't leave no part uncovered, right? I'm gonna turn this over. Let's go ahead and apply some all over. Remember that bottom was all rusty and all of that? That's because nobody took the time to go ahead and, season on this side. Okay, so my timer just went off. We at 500 degrees, right? I'm gonna go ahead and turn this over. Now I'm gonna take that same towel, I'm gonna go ahead and give this a wipe to get any of the excess off here, like that, right? Now I'm gonna stick this in the oven. It's gonna be in there for a total of 1 hour, right? But the first 30 minutes of it is gonna be at 500 degrees, and then I'm not gonna open it up. I'm just gonna turn the oven off and let it rest for another 30 minutes. All right, so it's been an hour, it's been about an hour and 15 minutes. You can see right now it's starting to look right. Look at that. So let's go ahead and get it back over here. I'm gonna start with it upside down. We're gonna go ahead and repeat the process. All right, so look, I'm gonna go ahead and hit bake. We're gonna go back to 500 degrees. Get this going. And we'll let that build back its heat. Meanwhile, we're gonna come over here and redo this pan. All right, so nothing has changed, just the same way you guys saw me do it. I just wanna apply it on here. And again, when it's hot, remember we preheated before? Look at how this just coats this. All right, so after I got it all completely, almost tried to wipe it out, some of you guys will say it's ready right now, but I always would like to put this back in here and do the exact same thing. Remember, a total of 1 hour is 30 minutes at 500, and then we're gonna let it rest for another 30 minutes. All right, folks, so look, I'm gonna wrap this up. You guys know, that's why I tell you guys, spread the word. Your boy AB from Smokin and Grillin with AB is teaching everybody, giving up all the gems, and look at this right here. Somebody gonna be happy. Now, with that being said, if you're new to my channel, let me take this time to say thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, smash that subscribe button, and tell everybody out there. There's a channel out there that's simplifying these recipes and taking the mystery out of cooking. And I'm out, folks. Peace.